Hey everyone, welcome back to BDG Reviews. I got another vinyl update. It's been a while since I did one. Not too many, but this is like over the past, couple of months or whatever. Um, just what I picked up. Like I said, it's not too big of a list this time. But we're going to start off with one I'm not sure if I've shown before. I seem to remember, like, mentioning it in the video, but I went back and looked. I couldn't see it, so... Well, here it is. Kiss Alive. Interesting thing with this record is I got this for $10. And, it's an OG press, obviously, because I won't buy Kiss vinyl new. I don't want to give Gene Simmons money. Interesting thing with this is I bought this. This isn't the original cover. The original cover that came with it was completely trashed. What they did have, though, is they had a copy with one record. And it wasn't selling, so dude just said pretty much, just take it. So I ended up taking that, so I got a better quality cover. Still not, awesome, but it's a usable cover. And I actually now have 2 copies of the second LP. I don't know. I'll figure something out with that. Like I said, I don't know if I showed that before, but if I did, oops. But there we go. Next, I got this for $1. I grab these whenever I see them. This is Cruisin' 1959. What these are is they're a bunch of records that came out from Increase Records, apparently. And what they are is they got songs from the time, but they also have like commercials from the 50s or whatever on there. Like, for example, this has got some songs. Then it's got like Champion Spark Plug commercial, Dolphins of Hollywood commercial, Robert Hall commercial. It's just kind of neat to hear the old, commercials. And like I said, you find these really cheap. Like I said, I got this for $1, and it's just one of those things. You see it, you buy it. It's nothing special. Let's just say that. Next, this was also $1. This is The Romantics with In Heat. I got that for $1, mainly because it's a gold stamp promo copy. I really like gold stamp promo copies because from what I have about 3 or 4 of them. But what I find is, for some reason, they tend to be in really good condition. I guess they're just sent to radio stations and stuff, so they maybe don't get as much play as you would think. So yeah, for $1, it's got a talking in your sleep on it. It's a good song. So for $1, I will not complain at all, and you could come home with me. Next, we have Louis Armstrong, July 4th, 1900 to July 6th, 1971. I guess it's like a anniversary type thing of his life or whatever. Double LP. Gatefold here. I love me some Louis Armstrong. This one's kind of funny because I actually I've said before, I always swap out my inner sleeves because I genuinely hate, paper inner sleeves. But this one's kind of neat because it's got these Dynaflex RCA logos things on. It says Dynaflex record. It is thinner than any other record you have ever owned. It is also superior in many ways to any other you have owned. It is freer of imperfections, ticks, pops, and blisters. It is much less susceptible to warpage, and its life will be far longer than conventional records. And that's on both of them. So it's kind of cool. So I just had to keep that. I couldn't bring myself to get rid of those. Those are kind of neat. And, it's Louis Armstrong. You don't need a reason for Louis Armstrong. It's just good music. Next up, this was a bit of a weird one. This was, I want to say $15. I can't show the vinyl because it's actually still on my turntable. This is Raven with Stay Hard. Now, you may not have ever heard of Raven. Basically, they're a new album band, so, a new wave of British heavy metal, same as, like, Maiden and everything. They're a little cheesy, at least this album is. I'm not saying it's bad music, but it's not great songwriting and everything, but for $15, it's some good, new wave of British heavy metal. I'll probably pick up some more stuff by them, because, it's pretty good for what it is. I'd put them maybe on the same level as, Early Accept, perhaps? Well, at least for me. Okay, these next four were $10 a piece. The interesting thing about these is, when I got these records, the guy at the store literally said to me, I don't know if they'll play. They're not in good shape. So essentially it's like you're taking a chance with these. But I can say all four of them play. They all play really good. The records don't look the best. One in particular is very heavily scratched up, but you can't hear it, so who cares? We got AC/DC, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. It's a classic. Everyone knows this album. Yeah, and the vinyl's not in the best shape, but like I said, it plays, it doesn't skip, it doesn't sound horrible or anything, and you know what? I'm fine with that. If it had skipped and everything, I'd have just used the cover as a piece of artwork, so, Next up, also by AC/DC, we have Powerage. Was either this or the next one that was really heavily scratched up. Yeah, Powerage. Then we got High Voltage. Yeah, this was the one that was, this was, the damaged one, simply because when you look closely, right there, yeah, that's Pinhole. Someone's had that, hung up on their wall. And, like I said, the vinyl is not in the greatest shape. I don't know if I can show these really well, but, yeah, you can see that. You see, that's in quite rough shape. And there's some big scratches on it and everything, but it plays. And when all is said and done, that's all that really matters. As long as, you're getting the music and it's, acceptable. And last up, this was, for these $10 ones, this was also $10, also AC/DC, Back in Black. The classic. Everyone needs a copy of Back in Black. Just glad I finally got one on vinyl. This is one I've always I've I've always been a fan of Back in Black, but I've never wanted to pay the new prices. And last up, this was $15. I finally got an OG copy. I've been looking for an OG copy at a reasonable price. One finally came along. Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz. This is on the old Jet Radios, Jet Records logo and label, I mean. If you don't know the whole deal with Blizzard of Oz, most people do, but basically, if you buy a new Blizzard of Oz, you're not getting the original recordings. Essentially, and I'm pretty sure it was Sharon Osbourne that did this, just from what I've heard about her as a person, she seems like the sort that would do this. She got a new bassist and a new drummer to come in and re-record the drums and bass and everything. I find it funny that she did this just after the original bassist and drummer were saying how they weren't getting their, I think they weren't getting their royalties or something, or they didn't get the, I don't know, an award or something. They were just sort of forgotten, and she just kind of hammered the last nail in the coffin there. So I made it a point to pick up an OG copy because I just don't like stuff like that. I find it petty and dumb. But that's just me, right? Yeah. So there you go. That's my vinyl update. Some good stuff, some good prices, honestly, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's it for me. See you next time.